Mia walks down a dimly lit school hallway. 3 bullies, Jake, Lila, and Marcus corner her, their laughter sharp and cruel. "Nobody's here to save you, loser." Jake sneers, shoving her backpack to the ground, its contents spilling across the tiled floor: books, a sketchpad, and a small, worn photo of a stern man with piercing eyes. Mia's clenched fists tremble slightly, her eyes glinting with a dangerous calm that sends a shiver through the air. A voice cuts in, low and intense. They thought she was just another easy target. They had no idea who her father was. The story flashes back to earlier that morning, showing Mia arriving at Westview High, a quiet new student with a hesitant step, trying to blend into the sea of chattering students. She's shy, keeps to herself, her worn leather jacket creaking faintly with each move, and a cryptic tattoo, a coiled snake with a dagger, peeking from her wrist, catching the light in a way that feels almost alive. The bullies zero in on her during lunch, their voices rising above the cafeteria din as they mock her thrift store clothes, splashing her tray with soda until it drips onto her shoes. The crowd around them laughs, a chorus of cruelty, but Mia doesn't flinch. She just stares, her silence unnerving, like a storm brewing beneath still waters. A text from Papa buzzes on her phone. "Stay low, Principessa." Her fingers hover over the screen, and suspense builds. What's her secret, and how long can she hide it? The bullying escalates after school in an empty parking lot, the air thick with the scent of rain and gasoline. Jake, Lila, and Marcus surround Mia, their taunts growing crueler with each passing second, their shadows stretching long and menacing across the cracked asphalt. Lila yanks Mia's jacket with a mocking laugh, revealing more of the tattoo, a coiled snake with a dagger, its scales glinting under the fading daylight, a symbol that means nothing to them but screams trouble to anyone familiar with the city's darker corners. In the distance, a black SUV idles silently, its tinted windows hiding watchful eyes that seem to pierce through the tension. Mia tries to walk away, her boots scuffing the ground, but Marcus grabs her arm, his grip tight and unyielding, and she snaps, "You don't want to do this." They laugh it off, their voices overlapping in a cacophony of arrogance, but the atmosphere grows tense and foreboding. Fragments of Mia's life trickle in. Her father, Vincenzo the Viper Russo, is the city's most feared gangster, a man whose name alone makes hardened criminals tremble, a man who controls the underworld with an iron fist and a network of loyal enforcers. Mia's been raised to stay under the radar, taught to deflect attention with a quiet demeanor, but the bullies push her too far, their taunts cutting deeper than they realize. Jake pulls out a pocket knife, twirling it with a smirk to scare her, the blade catching the light in a menacing dance, but Mia's eyes lock onto it, calculating, her mind racing through years of training she's kept hidden. Suddenly, the SUV's engine roars to life, a low growl that vibrates through the ground, creeping closer with deliberate intent. The bullies don't notice, too caught up in their game, but the air thickens with anticipation. Is she about to snap, unleashing the fury she's been holding back? Or is something else about to intervene, a force far beyond their comprehension? The tension explodes when Jake lunges at Mia, the knife flashing toward her, but she sidesteps with trained precision, her body moving like water, twisting his arm behind his back in a move that screams she's no ordinary girl. Years of martial arts and survival skills flashing in her fluid motion. The bullies freeze, shocked, their laughter dying in their throats as the SUV screeches to a stop, tires screeching against the pavement. 2 men in dark suits step out, their faces stone cold, their movements synchronized like predators closing in. "You touched the boss's daughter," one growls, his voice a low rumble that echoes off the concrete, and the bully's smugness crumbles, replaced by wide-eyed panic as they realize they've crossed a line they can't uncross. Their breaths come in short gasps, hands trembling as they back away, the weight of their mistake sinking in. Mia, still calm, picks up her backpack with deliberate grace, brushing off the dirt, and says, "I warned you." Her voice is steady, a quiet command that carries the authority of her lineage. Vincenzo had been watching all along, his men tailing Mia for protection since the moment she stepped into this unfamiliar school, their loyalty to the Viper Absolute. The bullies stammer apologies, their words tumbling over each other in a desperate plea, but the men in suits don't speak. Just stare, their presence a promise of consequences that hang heavy in the air, a silent threat of retribution from the underworld. Mia walks away, her silhouette framed against the setting sun, the orange light casting long shadows behind her, leaving the bullies trembling in the growing dusk.